B, these days, the number one cause of death now, starting at age 18, is one drug. It's fentanyl. And there's a lot of reasons why that is the case. But it's not a scare tactic, right? This isn't a dare program. It's reality to say your son or daughter can be at a party and they can not feel like they're fitting in. So they have a couple of drinks and hey, well, now they're part of the crowd and they're more relaxed. And their best friend could say, hey, I have this pill. I think it's a Xanax. I think it'll relax you more. It's a prescription. Why don't you take it? That pill could be laced with fentanyl. And so, again, I understand what I just portrayed is not meant to be a scare tactic. It's happening all over the place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why, policemen and women and, medical people, that's why on their hip right now, they're carrying around, something called Narcan, right? Which is to help prevent death from an opioid overuse, which is what fentanyl is. So the point being, as you detect a crisis, everything needs to accelerate in terms of your timeframes, but also in your specificity. But that doesn't mean, I would say, in the harshness of your tone. You can set tough boundaries and tight consequences, and you can stick by them 100% of the time. And you can do that out of a position of love and caring and compassion. And you can do it without anger. I'm not saying it's easy, it can be hard, but parents in a crisis have to be willing to make tough choices. And that doesn't mean they have to be demanding or cruel or mean or yelling all the time. They can still
Right.
do it from a position of compassion and love and calmness. But you have to be prepared for that, right? You have to have anticipated ahead of time and set a boundary that says, okay, you're 14 or 15 now. We know a lot of your friends are drinking, and we know that a lot of them are probably smoking marijuana. Let's discuss what our boundary is going to be and what the consequences are going to be and calmly set that. And so then if they make a mistake, you're just saying, okay, we're now going to allow the consequences of your choices to occur. And you can calmly enforce that boundary you've put in place. You don't have to react emotionally and go crazy on them and lock them in a room for 6 months and take away their phone and think that's going to make everything better. So that's why being intentional and proactive becomes important, but it has to escalate. And if you're detecting early signs of a crisis.
Right. Good stuff. I guess you could say we're the overseer, or we're the watchman on the by the gate, or the watchman on the tower, right? We're watching for signs of danger, and that's part of being an adult, and it's part of being a parent. Is that we want to steer our children away from danger. We don't want them to experience a fentanyl overdose or heroin overdose or LSD or cocaine or any of those drugs, right?